All right, first question going through. And before I begin, I should say shout out to the Infinite Actuary. They compiled all these questions together. And for the format of this, I'm not going to go through every single question. For certain sections, I'm only going through every third problem, others every every fifth problem I'll be going through. And that's just because there's not enough time to go through every single problem. And TIA already does have video solutions for some of them, so I will not be going through making ones for those. And this is more of an exercise for me to walk through the steps I need to solve problems efficiently and to explain myself as I go as a learning mechanism. So that being said, uh, I will not be editing. So as I go through, it may seem a little choppy. I do not mind if you do. Leave a comment, I guess. Probably not going to look through them too much. Although if you do find something incorrect, let me know. That way I don't fail this exam. All right, with that being said, let's jump into these questions. So 2011 exam 5, question 30. Given the following data for a line of business as of December 31st, 2010, and then they give us the average case reserves on open claims triangle and gives the average cumulative paid on closed claims triangle. Okay, then question A is asking, we'll discuss whether the reported claim development technique is appropriate to estimate unpaid claims for this line of business. So off to the side, get A started here. So recorded claim development technique, the appropriateness of that really depends on if the case reserves are changing, if they are constant, or if the mixed business, which we can't exactly judge here, is constant, then we should be good to use it if those things don't change. So the first thing we need to check is these average case reserves. If they are indeed changing, they're not consistent with their loss development factors, that would be a sign that it is not appropriate, and it's a sign that the case reserves or something has gone wrong. So here we'll take the LDFs of the case reserves. Typically what I like to do is just take this entire triangle, copy and paste it. I'm using Alt-S to get this box here, although I'm not sure if the exam will allow that. And now just take this, that here. Fast way to get LDF, so, and then Control right, not Control D. Cool. And of course you want to change these as well to 12 to 24, 36, 6 to 48. Then, oh, and they have a 48 to 60. Of course, the 62 ultimate. 62 volt. And then we got these. Cool. Yeah, trying to find a fast way to do that because it just take up a hot second. So looking here, it looks like everything is good up until this last point. It's consistent with all of these. So I'm assuming that there must be a case reserve change. Notice that it goes from like 1.2, 1.25 each of these years, and it jumps up significantly. So using these points, this can be a sign. So in the last calendar year, the LDFs for the case reserves jumped up considerably from the prior LDFs, especially for periods 12-24 and 24-36. This may indicate an increase in case reserves, which would make the reported claim development technique overestimate right? So if we increase the LDFs here, but we're taking an average of all of these to get the CDF, we're going to have a lower uh, cumulative loss development factor, which means we would. Oh, wait, hold on. If LDFs are lower, so if the LDF is higher at the last period, that means more claims would have had to been reported earlier. Meaning they're reserving more earlier. We're actually reserving less because it develops more. Interesting. May indicate increase in case reserves. Well, would it indicate an increase in case reserves, though? If the reported claim development overestimate. Definitely a change in the LDF. So regardless, we know that technique isn't appropriate. The question is why it's not appropriate. It's because we're going to be overestimating or underestimating, and the LDFs are higher, means that reporting is going slower. And if reporting is slower, that means we have less claims. Actually, no, we have about the same. But it's being reported faster. Okay, so it's just they did increase their, yeah, so that would overestimate it. Okay. Because the entire ultimate isn't going to go up, but the earlier amounts are going up. And so when we apply the LDFs to that, even if they are the same, it's going to be overestimated. Got it. Cool. That is correct. On to B. Full discuss whether paid development technique is appropriate to estimate unpaid claims. So same thing here. You can do the LDFs for paid cumulative paid claims, paid closed claims. Drag this across here. All right. Now, here it doesn't appear as if there are a significant increase in this last. So, although the reported is going to increase or increase their case reserve, they aren't increasing the rate at which they pay out claims. So the paid is almost not affected whatsoever. I mean, here it changes a little bit. That's even, just change this decimal place and it disappears. So in this case, I'm going to say the paid development technique is appropriate as the LDFs are consistent, even though there is a trend to increasing the paid claims. It does not affect the development pattern. And you might be wondering, what do I mean by increasing paid? Well, if you look here, we can definitely see there's a trend increasing the paid claims going for each year. So they definitely needed to increase their reserves because their claims are increasing steadily. But the paid development technique doesn't actually look at the individual claim, it looks at the development. So as long as they develop the same way, the technique is fine. So then lastly, here we have C. Discuss whether the expected claims technique is appropriate to estimate unpaid claims for this line of business. So the expected claims technique, that just uses a priori estimate of the ECR, expected claims ratio, and applies it to premium or an exposure base. In this case, we do see that the claims are increasing. So as long as the premium increases along with the claims, it should give us the same estimate. In fact, with this increase in case reserves, it would probably be a better estimate than the reported development technique, as it wouldn't have to adjust for the change in case reserve. It would still be estimating the same ultimates as long as the premium or whatever base the ECR is being applied to is the same. So in this case, the expected claims technique, EC technique, is appropriate to estimate as long as the premium is adjusted to account for the increasing trend that we see. Otherwise, it will underestimate. Premium is not adjusted. Premium slash the ECR is not adjusted. And the question actually won't ask for unpaid, so we don't even have to mention how it would be better than the case reserve development technique listed above. And that mark this as complete, and that is the completion of the first video.